Oh. 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 Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Vyapyat Sarvam, Trilokyam Sacharacharam. Tatpadam darshitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave namaha. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva. Tvameva Vedyadravinam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Jai Guru. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So where are we in our text?
Chapter 18, number 64.
And is Ganesh with us?
Yes.
Yes, I'm here, Jim. Chapter 18, number 64.
Thank you for helping out.
Mark, what's the page number?
Well, if you have the same, Joy, are you using that book? Joy sent it to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you know the page number?
mine says 383 in print. I don't know if it's the same in the
Oh, mine
e-copy.
says 357 in a Kindle.
Okay, I'll check. Chapter 18.
Bingo!
Okay, got it. Chapter 18, number, what was the number again?
64.
64. Okay. Okay. 60. Okay, is it the wise one who has no motive in any of his actions, moves like a child?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. Sarvarambheshu nishkamo yaschared balavannmuni nalepastasya shuddhasya kriyamanepi karmani. The wise one who has no motive in any of his actions, moves like a child and is pure, has no attachments even in the action that is being done by him.
Yes, so I like to say the Muni, the Stita Pragya, the wise one, no longer operates from that ego sense, I'll be happy when, it'll be better if. Why did you do such and so? I don't know. How come you didn't do such and this and that? I don't know. So they move from a deep intuitive place. The way the Master Jesus talked about it, he said, I of myself do no thing. It is the Father within that doeth the work. But, and this is a big but, in order for us to be that hand of the divine in action, we first have to deal with the tyrannizing, indulgent part of the mind. I must have it this way in order to be happy. I'll never have it that way because it makes me miserable. That raga and that dvesha has to be silenced. Then they've got this neutrality of mind. Then the infinite can move through them. Then their actions become perfumed by the odor of sanctity as they move through the world. Any thoughts on this? Next verse.
स एव धन्म आत्मज्ञ सर्वभावेषु यः समः पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् शन्नस्तिर् जिघ्रन् नश्चिनस्तशर् नश् नश् निश् no नश्ननिस्तर्षमानस okay पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् नश्चिनन्नस्तर्षमानस नश्चनिन्नस्त oh my God जिघ्रन् नश्नन्निस्तर्षमानस नश्ननिस्तर्षमानस okay. Blessed indeed is that knower of the self, who with his mind free from thirst, even though seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, or eating, remains the same under all conditions.
Yes. So the front part of the mind, as it were, engages with the world. They may be seen to act at what looks like the actions of an ordinary person. But inside, maunam, silence. Inside, shunyata, empty. And if we have that special talent to be able to tune up to the mind of the Muni, then we sense, oh, they're so empty. There's nothing there. Next verse.
क्व संसार क्व चाभास क्व साध्यं क्व च साधनम् आकाश्यस्येव धीरस्य निर्विकल्पस्य सर्वदा. Where is the world and where is the ego? Where is the end and where are the means for the wise one who's ever changeless like the universal space?
So even sadhana has gone. There's nothing left to be accomplished. They're no longer striving to be an enlightened person. They've let go of all personal sense of self. As Shankara says, starting from the body, up to and including the form of Brahma, the creator, or any of the devas along the way. And that includes especially if you think you are a spiritual person, an enlightened person. Understand that you are Brahman. And the world, all the names and forms, including your own body, mind, and intellect, it's like a dream. Have no real concern for it. Now, the person of steady wisdom may be seen to be doing spiritual practices. Doesn't add to their knowledge. But it's because they enjoy it until they don't enjoy it anymore. Any thoughts on this?
Well, my thoughts, it keeps coming in this text about the playfulness of the knower of Brahman. And I like that very much. It kind of like they talk about these extreme opposites, these you know, totally detached from everything. And then there's this such a playfulness about it's all a lila, which it seems to cover it very well.
You're absolutely right. And remember the word Leela, which is the translation of the English word play, has the same two meanings that the word does in English. So I can go across Grand Avenue into the park, and I can see people playing at lawn bowling, like a game. Or I can go to Berkeley Rep and see a play, a theatrical presentation. Leela has both meanings, and you've exactly got the right of it. So it's all sport, and your equipment is like the costume that's being worn, and the character may change from day to day, time to time. You never know what script the Lord has given you.
Yeah.
Very good point, Somya.
Thank you.
All right, next one.
Sajayatyartha sannyasi purnasvarasa vigraha akratimo navachinne samadhiryasya vartate. Hallelujah to him who has renounced all desires, who is the embodiment of perfect bliss, which is his own nature and who is spontaneously absorbed in the unlimited space.
Now, terrible translation. Hallelujah is a Hebrew term. What word is he translating there?
Jayati, Jayati means may you be victorious.
Yeah, may you be victorious. So read it again with the more literal translation.
So,
Victory to him.
yeah. Victory to him who has renounced all desires, who's the embodiment of perfect bliss, which is his own nature and who's spontaneously absorbed in the unlimited space.
So he doesn't even need to work at samadhi. She may find herself spontaneously being absorbed in the self, or even when she's absorbed in the world. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. It's all Brahman. Sarvam Maya. Sarvamana. It's all Maya. It's all bliss. Next verse.
बहुनात्र किमुक्तेन ज्ञाततत्त्वो महाशय भोगमोक्षनिराकाङ्क्षी सदा सर्वत्र नीरस. In short, here there is no need to say more. The great-souled one who has realized the truth is free from desire for sense enjoyments and for spiritual liberation. He is devoid of all passions in all places and at all times.
Yes. So this sthita prajna, the person of steady wisdom, who's given up all the cravings of the mind and is satisfied in the self by the self. So does that sum up this chapter?
There are more verses.
Okay.
Mahadadijjagadvaitam navamatra vijrimbhitam vihaya shuddhabodhasya kim krityam avashishyate. What remains to be done by one who is pure consciousness? He has renounced the pluralistic world which begins with Mahat, total intellect, and is manifested merely by names.
Yes. So I have a dear friend who says, well, it's not so much about a destination, it's the journey. So he sees his life as a continual spiritual program. But Vedanta says no. There is a moment when all our strivings cease. I'm no longer a person. There's no one left to be concerned about bondage and liberation. Only aham is real. Jagan Mithya. The phenomenal world, gross and subtle, is all illusion. Any thoughts? Next one.
Brahmabhutamidam sarvam kinchinnaastiti nishchayi alakshya spurana shuddha swabhavenaiva shamyati. The pure one knows with certitude that this universe is the product of illusion and that nothing really exists. The imperceptible self is revealed to him and he naturally becomes tranquil.
Yes. Oh, I think there's something coming in on my phone. It's all right. Can you all still hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hear.
All right. So I had a particular student and they were telling me about, well, I had a visitation from Krishna. And that was real, Jim. So is that real? And the way we reconcile those sorts of things with this last verse, a vision of the divine, a visitation of the divine, an identification with the divine form is as real as your ego sense, your own body, mind, intellect. So we don't say that Krishna, Rama, the mother aren't real. And we say they are not real. But when the individuality drops away, then all form, gross and subtle, drops away. Oh, but I meditate on the qualities of Lord Krishna. No, I'm sorry. The self is nirrupa, without a form, without any quality, and always experienced as I, aham. Now, listen carefully. Do not let philosophical inconsistency be a barrier to your happiness. If you're afflicted by kleshas and you want to do tapas and do particular practices, worshiping the goddess, worshiping Lord Ganesh, worshiping Krishna, go for it. At other times when the whole world drops away, then even that will drop. It's a subtle point. Any thoughts on this? This is why I never discourage a student from doing whatever spiritual practices they're led to, even dualistic ones. Why not? Your inner guidance will lead you. But in the end, all of that goes. This is not just Jim's good idea. This is what the scripture thunders. The Upanishad says it is not that which you worship here. But it doesn't say to stop worshiping it. Even Swami Tapovanam, great tapaswan, great Vedanta, when he walked all the way to the Sharda temple, which is now in Pakistan, very, very famous Devi temple, hung out with the priests there and the devotees of the mother, singing the mother's praises, being a bhakta, loving the mother. Why not?
Jim,
Yes.
I hope I didn't interrupt your
Not at all. Go ahead.
Well, I remember a quote from Swami Vivekananda, which helps me, which I think is in the same vein that we're talking. And he would say when he had a stomach ache, it was all mother, mother. And then at other times, it was I am Brahman.
You're exactly right.
Yes, it's very helpful to have a knower of Brahman say something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Any other thoughts? Going on.
शुद्धस्फुरणरूपस्य दृश्यभावमपश्यत क्व विधि क्व च वैराग्यं क्व त्यागः क्व शमेऽपि वा क्व शमोऽपि वा. Rules of life, dispassion, relinquishment, control of the mind. What are all these to one who's of the nature of pure effulgence and who does not perceive the phenomenal world at all?
So for the person of Sthita Prajna, it's all Brahman. There are no religious observances enjoined, no rules. But there are none that are prohibited either. Do as you will. Do as you will. Going on.
स्फुरतोऽनन्तरूपेण प्रकृतिं च न पश्यत क्व बन्ध क्व च वा मोक्ष क्व हर्ष क्व विषादिता. Where is bondage? Where is liberation? Where is joy? Where is sorrow? For one who does not perceive nature, the relative existence, but sees only the self shining in endless forms.
Yes. So the heart of the Sthita Prajna has been softened. There's no resistance to experience. Does the body experience pain? Yes. I can't remember the title of it. Mark, you may remember it. On Wednesday mornings, we did a book that was the final teaching of Nisargadatta Maharaj. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, the final something. I can't remember.
Anyway, throughout this particular book, he's dying of throat cancer. And to hear his relationless relationship to the pain in his body. And eventually he reached a point where he could no longer speak, he could no longer teach. Doesn't mean the body's going to hit all the green lights of life. So another way to look at it is to see every experience that comes to us as gift. Some gifts are tougher than others. But there's always something of value. Letting go, keeping our hearts open, surrendering to it. Doesn't mean we don't take prudent actions. But so much of our suffering is not just pain, but it's our resistance to it. And I think we've all had the experience. You may have an ache or a pain, and you go listen to some beautiful music or get engrossed in a book or get involved with a project at work, and you forget about the ache or pain. The ache or pain is only present if the mind is connected to it. Next verse.
बुद्धिपर्यन्तसंसारे मायामात्रं विवर्तते निर्ममो निरहङ्कारो निष्कामशोभते बुध. The illusion of this phenomenal world prevails until self-knowledge. The wise one lives devoid of I-ness, devoid of mindness, and free from passions.
Yes. So in the beginning, we need to meditate on the fact of the illusion of this world. But for the Stita Prajna, they're rooted in this experience, devoid of I-ness and mindness. There's no person there anymore. Empty, empty. Going on.
Akshayam gatasantapam atmanam pashyato mune kwa vidya chakpapa vishpam kwa dehoham mameti va. To the wise one who perceives the self as both imperishable and free from grief, where is knowledge and where is the universe? Where is the feeling body am I or the feeling mine is the body?
All that's gone, and there's Atmaram, revelry in the self. The mind that's become no mind. Going on.
निरोधादीनि कर्माणि जहाति जडधीर्यदि मनोरथान् प्रलापांश्च कर्तुमाप्नोत्यतत्क्षणात्. The moment a man of dull intellect gives up the practices of mental control, he from that very moment begins to entertain desires and fancies.
So for the person who has not yet exhausted all their vasanas, annihilated all their vasanas, who still has some tamas and rajas, as soon as they quit controlling the mind, worldly desire arises. And again, it only expresses in two ways. I need to change the world, or I need to change me. Well, what about my career? Get a career. Doesn't matter. But give up any illusion that that's going to be the answer to the problems of life. Oh, I want a significant other. I have a student, Setu, and he'd gotten married, and someone who was unmarried asked him, is it better being married? And he thought for a moment, he just different. All it ever gets, just different. Going on.
मन्दश्रुत्वापि तद्वस्तु न जहाति विमूढताम् निर्विकल्पो बहिर्यत्नात् अन्तर्विषयलालस. A man of dull intellect, even after hearing the truth, does not give up his delusion. Though outwardly through suppression he may appear to be without mental fluctuations, a craving for sense objects shall linger in him.
Yes. So if we reach a state that's nirvikalpo, nirvikalpaha, without any movement, through control of the prana, what we end up with is I see nothing. And that subtle I impression is still there. And then as soon as the suppression of the mind is gone, then all the issues return. In modern psycho-spiritual lingo, you hear this term called spiritual bypass. I'm not fond of it because I'm not sure what people mean by it. But frequently, a person can seek getting high. Now, it can be through drugs, or it can be through some spiritual practice. I remember when I was doing Kundalini yoga back in the early 70s, and we were puffing and puffing. We just hyperventilate, get really high. But it doesn't deal with vasana. Even if you've had some samadhis and you have had some experiences, oh, I know I am Brahman. Yeah, but, and then the world encroaches on us again. Where we are is at Shloka 267 in Viveka Chudamani. One of my favorites, one of the most important, which reads, even after realization of the truth, there exists a strong impression that one is the doer and the enjoyer, which is the cause for rebirth. Not only means you come back into the body again, means we're identified again. Then Shankara goes on to say it needs to be conscientiously rooted out through steady and continuous identification with the self. It is the annihilation of the vasanas here and now that is considered liberation by the wise. As long as I'm still attached to the world, I will get no enduring peace. Any thoughts on this? And if you go back to that section in Viveka Chudamani, there's verse after verse after verse after verse that Shankara pounds home the annihilation of the vasanas, giving up attachment and identification over and over and over again. It's a very powerful section. Next verse.
ज्ञानाद् गरितकर्मायो लोकदृष्ट्यापि कर्मकृत् नाप्नोत्यवसरं कर्तुं वक्तुमेव न किञ्चन. He whose work has dropped off with the dawn of wisdom may undertake some work as seen by ordinary people, but he gets no room or scope to do or to say anything.
So the person of steady wisdom may have a job. They may be seen to be doing spiritual practices simply because of the force of the past. They may be a guru and unfolding scriptures and teaching people. They may be watching Netflix. You cannot tell from the outside. But inside, there's nothing left to do. This is the deepest meaning of the Judeo-Christian term Sabbath, Shabbat. Sabbath rest. The Hebrew scripture says, remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Most people thinks that, oh, I don't go to my job and I can't walk too far or tie knots or things like that on Saturday. But the deeper meaning is stop. Drop the kartavya. Keep that state holy. Next verse.
Vatama Kwaprakasho va Hanam Kwachana Kinchana Nirvikarasya Dhirasya Niratankasya Sarvada. To the wise one who's ever unperturbed and fearless, where is darkness? Where is light? Where is loss? There is nothing whatsoever.
Yes. So the woman of steady wisdom has given up concern for stupid mind states. What we learn is you don't need to do anything about a mind state. It is inherently impermanent. I promise you, it will pass. Now, there's a corollary to this law about mind states. Any mind state, any interior psychic event that's resisted or denied, meaning I struggle against it, I want to make it go away, etc., tends to persist. Any interior mental state, psychic event that's fully experienced tends to dissipate. Now, I don't think any of you are old enough to remember the EST training. Were you around in those days, Somya?
I had to unmute. Yes, I was, but I didn't get involved.
Well, I took Werner's very last training that he did in San Francisco. And one of the things he did that was just fascinating, he would ask somebody in the audience if anybody had a headache. And of course, a lot of people did. And he would have one of them come up on the stage and sit on the stool. And then he would do this process with them. And he would say, well, where is it? Well, it's like right here in my temples. Well, how big is it? About the size of a dime, a quarter, 50-cent piece. Oh, it's about the size of a 50-cent piece, you know. Well, Well, what color is it? Oh, it feels like it's muddy brown. And what he would be doing with these questions is drawing the person's attention to the headache. And he would go through the process, and within 10 minutes, the person's headache would be gone. Because through the process, they quit resisting, they quit denying. Instead, they fully experienced it. It was a fascinating thing to see. Just fascinating. Little tool to stick in the back of your head. All right, next verse.
Kwadhairyam, kvavivekitvam, kvaniratankatāpi va, anirvachya svabhavasya, nishvabhavasya yogina. For the fulfilled seeker, yogin, who is attributeless and undefinable. For the fulfilled seeker, yogin, who is attributeless and of undefinable nature, where is patience? Where is discrimination? Where is even fearlessness?
Yes. So the Muni, the accomplished one, the Sthita Prajna, these qualities are natural. Incredible patience to just be with what is. No more agendas to be done. There's a simplicity. If the situation calls for them to be in a position of leadership, they just simply do it. On the other hand, they may be like a ghost, moving through a crowd of people and no one sees them even. Or anything in between. Next verse.
Nasvargo naiva narako, jivan muktir chaiva hi, bahunatra kimuktena, yoga drishtya na kinchana. There is no heaven nor is there a hell. There is not even the state of liberation. In short, in the yogika vision, nothing exists.
Yes. Oh, when I die, I'm going to go to Swarga, heaven. Oh, I'm afraid I'm going to go to Naraka, hell. Actually, these are mind states. Many of us yogis have already been in hell. We're on our way out. But for the Jivan Mukta, the Sthita Prajna, again, I'm not a bound person trying to get liberated. And I'm certainly not a liberated person. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. And I have no relationship with this illusory world of name and form. Next one.
Naiva prarthayate labham नालाभेनानुशोचति धीरस्य शीतलं चित्तम् अमृतेनैव पूरितम्. A wise man neither longs for gain nor grieves at the loss. His serene mind is indeed filled with the nectar, the supreme bliss.
Yeah. So what happens in this life, according to the force of past actions, the body will get its allotted dose of successes and failures, joys and sorrows, conducive and non-conducive environments, sickness and health, praise and censure. But the jnani just stands back and watches the movie go by. With no resistance to it. Next one.
Nashantam stauti nishkamo न दुष्टमपि निन्दति समदुःख सुखस्तृप्त किंचित कृत्यं न पश्यति. The desireless one has neither praise for the calm nor even blame for the wicked. Contented and the same in happiness and misery, he finds nothing to be achieved.
Yes, yes. And there's complete acceptance of other people as they are. Now, one of the reasons why this is possible is the yogi, through their own sadhana, has come to know their own mind. They know that they are capable of lying, cheating, stealing, beating people, anger, revenge, and kindness, generosity, goodness, charity, love, peace. They know the human mind and its whole range. And when a yogi knows their own mind, they know everybody else's too. So there are no more any wicked people. There are no more any evil people in their lives. There are just people who are more broken than others, who are suffering more deeply. If you look to your own life when you've acted like a jerk, why'd you do it? Probably because you felt hurt or frightened. Oh, now you know why everybody else acts like a jerk. This is not to condone the behavior of others. This is to have pathos, to feel with the other, compassion. And then we can find love, even in the face of all sorts of nonsense. Any thoughts on this? I'm going to say something rather audacious. If you're plagued by deep resentment, it means there's a part of your own shadow you haven't accepted. There's that old slogan, you spot it, you got it. And that wonderful sutra from the second chapter of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, Tapas Swadhyayeshvara Pranidhana Kriya Yoga. I like to take it from the inside out. Swadhyaya. In the Raja Yoga tradition, it means an inventory of my kleshas, my defilements, my defects, my issues. Once I get aware of them, then I won't act out on them unconsciously. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop acting out on them right away. But 90% of healing is awareness. And tapas, begin to move the mind from old habits into more conducive ones. This seems impossible. So Ishvara Pranidhana, trustful surrender to God for help. And this Patanjali calls yoga in action, Kriya Yoga. It's a wonderful, wonderful sutra. My experience, when we really know our own minds, we have an enormous capacity to have compassion for others. Swamiji, he just laughed at us. He thought we were all very funny. All very, very funny. Next verse.
Dhiro na dveshti samsaram atmanam na didrakshati atmanam na didrakshati harshamarsha vinirmukto namrato na cha jivati. This wise one neither hates the world of change nor wishes to see the self. Free from joy and sorrow, he is neither dead nor alive.
Yes. So in the beginning, many of the teachers say, avoid sense objects like poison, renounce attachment to this body, flesh and blood, etc., filled with feces and urine. It's disgusting. That's only for basic beginners who have terrible identification with the bodies. Not particularly a way I think is helpful. In the end, the world is neither dangerous or the source of joy. It's neutral. I like to use examples like the speed of light, 186,000 miles per second. Is that right, wrong, just or unjust, pleasurable or misery producing? What are you talking about? It just is. That's right. So is everything. And everyone. Nobody, nothing out there has the power to make me feel anything. Ever. So there's no world to be avoided. There's no self to be gained. When are you ever not you? It's yourself. It's so much more literal than people think. My problem is I superimpose all sorts of nonsense on myself. But I don't get a new self. Next verse.
निस्नेह पुत्रदारादौ निष्कामो विषयेषु च निश्चिन्तः स्वशरीरेऽपि निराशः शोभते बुधः. Shining, glorious is the life of the wise man, free from all expectations, without any attachment for children, wife, and others, free from desire for the sense objects, and without care even for his own body.
Yeah. Now, that doesn't mean we trash the body. First of all, out of compassion for other people, keep it clean, dress appropriately, but see it like a car. Some of us have a BMW, others of us have an old Honda. But you still do the same stuff, rotate the tires, change the oil, wash it, take it to the car wash on a regular basis, keep it clean, keep it running. Will serve you. But it's not you. It's just a vehicle. The body is a vehicle for the garnering of experience and the satisfaction of desire. Ultimately, it becomes the vehicle for the realization of the truth. By body here, I mean the body, mind, intellect amalgam. All right, next one.
तुष्टिः सर्वत्र धीरस्य यथा पतितवर्तिनः स्वच्छन्दं च तो देशान् यत्रास्तमितशायिनः. Contentment ever dwells in the heart of the wise man, who lives upon whatever happens to come unasked as his lot, and who roams about at pleasure, resting wherever he is when the sun sets.
Yes. So the sense of no, some yogis are like vagabonds. They're aniket chaitanya. They're have the consciousness of homelessness. Others, park in one place and never move. When Ramana Maharshi got to Arunachala, he essentially never left. Doesn't matter. Many people of steady wisdom choose to live simply because they understand the basic law of money. In this society, if you want something, you've got to pay for it and then take care of it. And that costs money. And unless you're a trust fund kid, you're going to have to work for it. True story. So I have this young man I'm working with. His whole family are devotees of the great 20th century saint Meher Baba. And he's decided that he wants to move to the Baba Center in Myrtle Beach, North Carolina. And he's going there to do sadhana, to work on his music, to deepen his relationship with God. So he's been putting out stuff on trying to find housing. So this one lady says, well, I've got a condo that I want to sublet. It's 2 bedrooms and it's $1,200 a month. And immediately he was going, oh yeah, it's really nice. It's fancy. It's so close to the center. Then I can set up a studio for my music in the other room. Oh, this is so cool. So I just kind of talked him through this stuff. And I said, well, you're going to be working there at the center. And he said, yeah. And for how much? Well, $15 an hour. Okay. And what kind of work? Well, things like making beds, working around the grounds and stuff like that. And how much do you want to work? Well, no more than 30 hours. So we sat down with my calculator and crunched the numbers. He can't do it. Well, maybe I can work 40 hours. And if I need to, then I can get another job on the outside. And I said, now, wait a minute. Why are you going to Myrtle Beach? To work 50 hours a week so you can have a 2-bedroom apartment? Oh, I never looked at it that way. So many of us, we get so grabby. Nothing wrong with that. You can do anything you want as a yogi. Just be mindful that you have to take responsibility for it. Pretty simple stuff, but so many of us miss it. Any thoughts on this? All right, next verse. We'll do one more.
Patatu detu vadeho nasya chinta mahatmana swabhava bhumi vishranti vismrita shesha sansrite. Reposing upon the floor, the foundation of his own being, and completely transcending birth and rebirth, the Great One does not care whether his body drops down dead or rises up to live.
So, what is the floor, the foundation, the ground? Is my own being. Now, what's implied in this verse? We need to have death on one shoulder. We need to be willing to die at any moment. Because I know the self in me is birthless, changeless, and deathless. But on the other shoulder, what if you're going to be in the body for the rest of eternity? This is it. So the Sthita Prajna doesn't care. If you're going to be in the body for the rest of eternity, how should I live this life? Just don't give a rat's ass about it. It's all going to work out. My ego is not in charge. My ego is an illusion. There's no one there. All right, good place to stop tonight. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Tat Sat.